cool, you guys. It looks really cool. Yeah. Goodbye, you two. Take care. Did it work out in the end? What, the dish or the this game? This game is working. You guys can be the judge of the rest. Okay. There we go. Citizen Sleeper. Yeah. Setup worked out. Yeah. It was just I just had to charge my my microphones. So if you want to go back and watch the whole stream, basically the first 10 minutes or so is just me like sitting here waiting for the mics to charge, but it did get worked out, so feel free to watch it. I intend to watch yours. Okay, let's try this game. There are some resolution things. I'm not sure this is my problem. Okay. Well, anyways, new game. Empty slot. Okay. Choose character class. An operator works with drones and high-precision remote machines to perform complex tasks from a distance. Sleepers assigned to perform operator work are cerebral and precise. Keep in mind, Asobu, like, I think there's already a lot of parallels to what we're doing, right? Obvious parallels. But I like a lot of this. Obviously, we don't have the same skills they do, but like the vibe of this character select screen works for me. I could be an extractor. Extractors work on resource extraction, often in hard vacuum. Sleepers assigned to extractor were confident, self-sufficient, have a high level of endurance. Machinists repair and modify automated systems used in industrial resource extraction. Sleepers assigned to machinist work are diligent, careful, and structured. I do kind of like the operator, to be honest. Usually I don't just go with the default, but something about this just resonates with me. Maybe it's that I've been thinking about drones recently. Less endure, more interface. Alright, let's give it a shot. Plop, 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 plop. This is the first thing you become aware of on waking. The disconnect. The delay between thinking and feeling. Between wanting to act and acting. Minor, almost imperceptible, but always present. The first thing you become aware of... Right. It's at its worst when waking, when yourself has spent too many dark hours recalling what it felt like to be a real, to be a person, to be in a body that was indisputably worse. A leap into a cold lake on a hot day, a sting of blood welling up from a fresh wound, a friction of a fingertip. All of a sudden the memories are closer than you thought, blurring as you approach. You can't tell one from the other. The game is called Citizen Sleeper. I imagine that, like, since the game is about kind of inhabiting robot bodies in, like, the far future, that maybe Sleeper refers to, you know, people who are, like, these cyborgs, but I'm not entirely sure. The cold slips in, behind and around you, and the sensations fade out of reach. Perhaps you should be thankful for the dulled nature of this new body, given your current circumstances. The walls of the container feel immediately present, cold, hard at your back and face, cramping your limbs. You resist the desire to stretch, knowing that the claustrophobia comes next, and retreat a little from your central nervous system. It isn't painful. Not like you used to know pain, at least. In emergency mode is a message, delivered with efficiency and ease, a reminder that harm is imminent. There's no insistent throb, no trembling nerves, just a warning, delivered with the banal quality of a digital notification. Right now, there are thousands of them. I am curious what the plan was. Well, it's the perfect game for my time. I guess that's true. What do you think, chat? I guess I should be putting this to you. You know, you're all here. Do we remember the plan, or do we remember the others? And how's the sound, by the way? Ooh. Asobu? Ellie, anyone? This is very interesting. I like these choices. Like, they feel deliberate, simple, and also vague enough that it's not, like, obvious whether you should pick one or the other. I think Remember the Others is a very, like, humanistic, like, warm kind of approach. And Remember the Plan is the more, like, calculated approach. Any thoughts, anybody? Break the tie. Make me start a poll. Well, you know what? In honor of my collaborator, the 77, I think we shall remember the plan. You mostly remember that it wasn't a good plan. Hey, it's us, 77! But then your options were limited. Once you got the itch to get out, by any means possible, it was either that plan or something much worse. It was at least simple. Collapse the shaft, drive away into the chaos, slip into cargo processing, seal yourselves into containers, and just hope the freighter left before you were missed. Some were lost in the shaft. Others never found the meeting point. Only a few made it to the containers. But the freighter, as far as you know, left. Feels like enough to know that you might no longer be on that grim and heartless rock. Even if, in the airless hold of a freighter, you might freeze solid long before you reached any destination. I think I will wait for the cold. That's all there is now. It's been a long time since you left. Surely weeks, maybe months. You're dully aware of the damage to your legs, your right arm. You've been reserving energy as much as possible, but your body still needed to shut down many of its systems to protect you. You spent much of that time asleep, knowing that anything else would be impossible to endure. You feel the weight of that impossibility begin to gather. It's time to sleep again, to nudge this false body into inducing delta waves in your emulated mind, and once again recoil into a dream when you were once a person. Time passes. The cold creeps further in. You feel something. Warmth. Not true warmth, but the indication of its presence. Your joints release from their rigor. Sound, too, everywhere, screeching and shimmering so loud that your body ducks its hearing to protect its sensors. Hey, Puck. So, we just finished... oh, thanks for the water, actually. Much appreciated. We just finished our collaboration stream with the 77. I'll be in and out in a minute. Yeah, take your time. We finished our collaboration stream with the 77. We made his pasta with sweet potatoes, bacon, basil, and a lot of, well, it was supposed to be creme fraiche, which I couldn't find, so I just put in sour cream. To be honest, it came out a little bit too rich for my taste, but it is still tasty, and I can see why he likes it, and I'm glad that I gave it a try. But now, we have gone completely in the opposite direction, and we're playing what seems a very cold and calculating sci-fi dystopian game. Basically, what I'm getting is that we were once a person, but we are now a robot, and we're, like, in a fucking, like, cargo hole somewhere. That light, white as the cold, softer and softer, until in a haze of dirty yellow, a figure appears. You're out. Okay. Dragos? Been a few hours since Dragos pulled you from the container. You sit huddled in a corner of his scrapyard, swaddled in the respective folds of a mylar blanket. You're slowly coming back to consciousness, back to life, and you stare at the ornately curving element of an improvised heater. I really like the way that this game tells its story. You're surrounded by angular, incoherent lumps of ships, corroded beyond recognition, others carrying glassy wounds along their edges where a plasma arc slices them apart. As you trace their shapes with fogged eyes, you hear a voice. So, Sleeper, y'all thawed yet? Almost. Never seen one of you come in like this. New frames must have better perseverance in sub-zero vac. See more a few of you frozen solid to whole plates. The inside are locked in my time. They weren't so lucky. Dragos comes into focus, shrouded in makeshift tech, his headset with its glinting eyes the mark of a drone operator. On his shoulder, one of his symbiotically linked drones perches, its irising eye locking you in an unflinching stare. The last living sleeper that came through this yard was a while ago. They didn't last long. You struggle to read his expression beneath the tech, but he seems lost in memory for a moment. Perhaps he's just figuring out what to do with you. I plan to survive. You aren't sure if he hears you. I won't ask what led you to do it. Sell yourself to a corporation. And I suppose you know you can't go back. The old body, it's theirs now, and you're just software. A rogue emulation illegally possessing corporate property. You're not alone. You remember biometrically signing the forms, the cold floor on your feet as you paddled to the sleeper cells, the promise of a life off-world. But as you do, you get the now familiar sensation that these aren't your memories. These are things you know, but not things you feel. You're no longer that person. You're an offshoot, a copy. What you won't know is what's ahead. At least the last one didn't. There's no easy way to put it. That body of yours is falling apart. It's the same for any sleeper who makes it out. S&ARP wants to protect their property, but if they can't keep hold of you, well, no one can. You remember that too, or at least rumors of it from the other sleepers. Planned obsolescence, a built-in dependence on the regularly administered supplements that were part of your routine. Stop taking them and your body begins to shut down, separate from your emulated mind. How long has it been? How long do you have? But for now, Sleeper, you are one of the lucky ones. Dragos glances up and away towards the glassy dome of the yard. The Eye is the best place you could be right now. The Eye? The station. You'll see here soon enough. Dragos impatiently shifts his weight. Look, I've got things to be getting on with. He trails off. There's an old freight container I've been using as storage out in the stacks. We haven't been pulling much valuable scrap these days, so you are welcome to it. Something wells up inside of you. Emotion. Fatigue. You shakily get to your feet. Alright, you head on up there. You look like you need some rest. And with that, Drago stalks back to the Rex, his drones already converging on a rusting hulk. Plasma flashes silhouetting his spindly figure as he returns to work. Welcome to Erlin's Eye. Life on the Eye runs in cycles, during which you talk to characters, explore the station, and perform actions. At the end of each cycle, you need to head to your current home to rest. Resting will move forward time on the station. Head to the empty container and end the cycle now. I guess we're going to the container. You wake curled up in the corner of the container and begin slowly assembling the world around you. Container, 4 steel walls. I love the writing in this game. After all this time, you still find this body, the one you wake in now, strange and disjointed. His message is readable, but somehow wrong. You sit up, pulling the mylar blanket close against the cold. Here you are on this ruined station, millions of miles from anyone you know. Are you still in the system? And if the others make it out, it's impossible to know. After all of this, what matters? Building a life. Maybe you did get lucky finding yourself here. Maybe here on the edge of everything there's a life for you to build. But before you can build anything, you'll need to learn to survive. Maybe if you can do that, you can make a life for yourself. Dragos has a few comforts in the container. Mylar blanket, the bedroll you slept on, canister of water, a makeshift electric stove, faded sachets of some desiccated powder. You thumb the powder stud of the stove and begin to boil the water. The contents of the sachets smell like damp wood, and you sprinkle them into the liquid. As the pungent smell washes over you, images from your restless sleep come back. A ring like the station, but skeletal and ghostly. A web of threads pulling at your skin. A constellation of bright polygonal shapes like angular suns burning into your mind. There's something unpleasantly visceral about these images. It's long after you finish drinking that they begin to fade. You tidy away the stove as best you can. Try to gather enough energy to greet the day. Okay, so condition is the state of the body. Depletes by one segment each cycle, but it can be damaged by violence, injury, or lack of food. Okay, so our condition is 2? Wait. Is it... Maybe the condition is the thing at the very top. Okay, so our condition is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever. If your condition bar empties, you suffer a breakdown. You'll have to figure out how to recover your condition now that you have no access to corporate pharmaceuticals that were keeping you alive. At the start of each turn, you roll your action dice. They can be used to perform actions. The number of dice based on the current condition. Oh, I see. Yeah, we've got 4 dice because we're like up here. The worst condition is the fewer dice you have. Once you can't have used your dice, you can't take further actions and must rest to recover them. You also need to eat to survive. This is the energy bar. You can refill your energy bar by eating, but you have to find somewhere to get food. Your energy depletes by 2 segments every cycle. If it becomes empty, you're starving, and that will become condition loss and deplete at double rate per cycle. Great! I love it! Alright, so I guess we'll leave. Dragos is stood in the corridor when you close up the container. He's still wearing his headset. In the harsh light of the corridor, you realize it's implanted. The drone sits on his shoulder, its cache of sensor eyes rapidly irising. How you feeling? Okay. You hear? You notice that below the operator's rig, his skin is burned and blotched. I know the container isn't much, but it'll keep you safe. So I'm not gonna chit-chat too long. You well enough to work? Sure. Alright then. At the yard, it's simple stuff. We hack these old hulls down, sell them off to the shipyards and the bright market dealers for cryo. Occasionally we pull out some tech, something with a bit more value. Most of what comes in is scrap. It's hard to find good hands here, but I figure as a sleeper, you'll be used to the manual labor. And obviously I'll slip you a few chits of commission based on what you turn up. Got it. He shuffles his feet nervously. Look, I wouldn't usually do this. In my opinion, you'd be best suited moving on as quick as you can, and sleepers, well... What I hear about too much text being all scary? Well, I mean, think of it this way, Sobu. I think that on the right, for the story, it's working. And indeed, it actually aligns a lot with the stories that you're making. I think you should play this game, seriously. I think this is, like, really aligned with some of your goals personally for the games that you make. But look at how, when it says Dragos, it says a pragmatic and private salvager. When it was talking about the container, it just says 4 metal walls. Like, that, it's almost poetry. And I love how that just feels good. As for the tutorial, I'm not really a fan of it. I think it is a little bit much, but, you know, it's working for now. Like, it feels a little overwhelming to me, but for the most part, the game's minimalism is working. I like the UI. Very classy way of adding flavor. I love this. I kind of want to do this ourselves, if I can figure out where to put it. But things being the way they are for me at the yard, I need the help. Why? It's a little tight, that's all. A little cryo to a client here or there. He pauses, thinking of something else to add. Look, just come down to the yard when you're feeling fresher. There's plenty to do. Will do. He nods distractedly, turns and walks away, the drone hopping along ahead. See you later. Looks like it's time to get to work. Okay, so we have a yard. Oh, we can scroll, okay. That's cool. I like this UI. Oh, what's this? Passage into the low end. I don't know. What does this mean? A little unclear. Answer intercept. Just getting higher on interference actions. Yeah, none of this makes any sense to me, if I'm being honest. First problems with awareness, your strength or strength of will. We don't want that. Work with machines. Work with digital interfaces. We want to do this. Okay. Alright, 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 alright. That small subtitle, yeah. Well, I want to see what this is, and I'm hoping it doesn't spend time. A low-end toll. Okay, so we can't do anything there. After some spacers caused some trouble in the low end, Yatagan have imposed a toll for entry. No one gets in without paying. Alright, cool, fine. There's only the one thing to do then. Actions is the primary way you interact with the world. Click and drag your action dice into the slot. Actions reward you with clock progress, energy, condition, or items. Positive, neutral, or negative. Oh, I see. Okay. Okay, okay. Either wait, what? Okay, repeatable action, critical, repeatable, critical action is going to perform once. Risk, oh god. Safe, negative means crowd energy loss. Negative means, oh my god, that sucks. The skill that it requires, okay. Modifier, I see, okay. Okay. Again, like, I'm not a huge fan of this approach to tutorializing, but, you know, I'm assuming that I'm not going to get too much more of this. Like, if it's like this, like, every 5 minutes for the rest of, like, this hour, I think that's going to feel like a lot. But, okay, so let's see. We've got a bunch of things we can do here. Engineer 0, manual salvage, we don't want to do that for sure. We can drag in these. What is this? Dragos is tied up in something ugly. It causes... What does this mean? Cycle clock. Every Sunday knows they're just one haul away from the next payday. Like, does this mean that it affects this? I guess we'll find out. Let's throw our 3 in to haul this section. What happened there? Okay, I drag it down there. That's kind of unintuitive, to be honest. Got nothing to lose. Let's try it. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Back in business, baby! Actions often progress clocks. Clocks are displayed below the actions. They track your actions, how they affect the world. Filling a clock means something good or bad is about to happen. Some clocks, like the one tracking the dash, are cycle clocks. They take themselves every cycle. Okay, gotcha. That makes sense. Alright, cool. Well, I guess we'll just keep at this. I don't really want to do this. This other one, I mean. But, okay, so we'll do it. But it's also safer. It says it's repeatable, so we'll keep on doing this. I thought my 4 would be better, but oh well. Consistently where you unlock drives as you discover more about yourself in the world. Drives guide you to pursuing specific objectives. Oh, okay, I see, okay. Yes, that's just your drive. Yeah, okay. You're now free to explore the eye. Try tracking a drive to help you survive. Look for food to keep your energy up. Fill clocks to progress stories. Remember the end cycle when you're out of dice. Okay. Alright, well, it looks like we're good. We got more money. Love money. Repay Dragos and survive. Okay, let's leave. So now we've got lots of stuff we can do. Dock C4. Old dock terminal. There's just a lot of docks, okay. Market. I mean, we have 30 bucks. Whatever that's worth. And then shipyard. Was that where we just were? I don't think it is. Yeah, we were here. So what's at the shipyard? We can assist a shipbuilder. We aren't very good at that. Let's try and find something we're good at, you know, for a change. Helion Crossing. Okay. Another one. Salvage sortie. Doesn't look like anything we're doing. Oh, I see. Maybe we have, like, tasks that we could have here, but not yet. Steel dock plans. It's risky to explore the rotunda? Come on. Weird. Okay. Well, presumably this leads to, like, more jobs or something. Bright market. Ask for... It's dangerous to ask for directions? What the hell's going on in this place? Um, okay. I'm starting to understand. And then we have that already again. So the market of the rotunda, basically. I guess... Oh man, I don't like this at all. 50-50 on a good or negative chance. Let's try the 3 here. Give it a shot. Oh god. Well, that sucks. Give up exhausted. Well, I can keep looking. I wonder if they create the UI elements dynamically if you always have 2 to 3 choices. Oh, you mean like the left and right? Could make sense. Okay, should we try again with an even worse chance of success? Or should we just do some manual labor since it's, like, safe? I think we'll do the manual salvage. I mean, this seems like a terrible idea. But it's safe, so, you know, whatever. Oh, well, cool, I guess. Alright. Well, we're out of dice. Let's go home. We've got 35 bucks. Oh god, I'm starving. This time you don't wake up. Instead, the ghost of the station, the shifting skeletal rings surrounds you. For a moment you're gone, absent from your own body, stretched out across a colorless void. Then the connections begin to establish themselves, threads tugging on the edge of your mind. The threads become vectors of exchange, then extensions, as you feel your thoughts slipping away down them, dissolving into the millions of distributed nodes. You see the station. No, you feel the station. A web of texture in a smooth black liquid. Even though you have no eyes, no sight, you see, feel the map of the station. Hey, that seems like a bug. Clearly, they're supposed to choose either see or feel there. Like, I assume that they were doing the game thing where, like, you make a choice, but it's pretty much a bubble, like, it's a path that's routed, but that's a little on the nose, don't you think? No, not the map of the station, but the map of its connections. It's a looped cloud with spokes and spires that jut out into space. It's an ingrown thing, full of obsolete loops and severed pathways. It's a system, a map, and a territory, all at once. You notice a tugging feeling pulling at you, insistently, as if it were a small child. Somehow it pulls you in 2 directions at once. You look down. All of a sudden, everything shuts off, dribbling back into this unfamiliar body, both yours and not yours, all at once. You find yourself standing in a container, eyes open to the dark steel walls. You feel a change within you, a shift. You close your eyes for a second and you feel it waiting there, a station splayed out across your mind, a storm of connective nodes waiting to be explored. Then it's gone. Alright, let's leave. Jesus, a 1. This is gonna be good. Alright, let's try the market. I need to eat something. I really do need to get stuff working here. Let's start with this 3, please. Whew! Local knowledge, baby. So, are you telling me I need to do this 3 times to get something out of it? And enjoy the chaotic layout of the markets. Okay, leave. I need to eat oh, it's a doctor. Okay, I mean, I guess that's something. I was kind of hoping to eat, you know? I see, the docks things are like, cycling. Cool. I guess we'll check out the doctor. Next! Comes the call from the enforcer at the door. Decaying habitation block. You shuffle down the flickering hallway towards the open apartment door. You keep your head down and your shoulders high in the queue, try not to bring attention to yourself. You were thankful for the tip-off that a doctor was operating out of this place, but now that you're here, you aren't so sure. The gang enforcer on the door, the flickering light strips, the decaying hab block. They've all made the long queue a test of your nerve, but your options are few, and without a supply of stabilizer, this body, your body, will suppress a shiver. Shuffle inside to the front of the queue. You try to find something to distract yourself. I'm not gonna look at this guy who's about to break my neck. You lean against the doorframe and look into the apartment. The entryway is dark, punctuated by the green indicators of stacks of sealed containers. You lean in and see amber light filtering through a bar doorway, screened with plastic sheeting, beyond which blurred shapes move. The flap of the enforcer's palm against the doorway jerks you awake. Wait your turn! After a few moments, a figure pushes through the doorway and you catch a distant voice. Send in the next one, Toshiro. The enforcer jerks his head and you slip inside, passing through the dark entryway and pushing through the plastic sheeting to the far door. The room is bathed in warm light. Floor to ceiling transparent panel gives a full view of Bright Market's sealed roof and the buzzing traffic above, and for a moment you're transfixed by the motion. Come, sit, calls a sharp voice, and you see a silhouetted figure turned away, replacing the plastic sheeting over the frame of a simple folding bed. You make your way across the room. The figure turns, and as you do, they see an expression of confusion flash across their features. They open their mouths to speak, blink, and quickly regain their composure. Please sit. They gesture to the bed, then turn to an open case full of tools on the table. You sit. Sabine turns. Compact diagnostic scanner of some kind in their hand. They hold it to your eye. Remain still, please. Their tone is clipped and businesslike. You stare ahead, still dazed from their expression when you first entered. Fear, recognition, sadness, unmistakably etched across their face. How long have you been on the station? They ask. Scanner still at their eye. A few cycles. They nod. It's good you came to me. They set the diagnostic scanner on the table. I'm going to start by assuming you don't know anything. They take your arm and roll up your sleeve, inspecting your synthetic skin. Your body's dying. They say it without ceremony, without drama, but not without empathy. SNARP doesn't like to see its proprietary technology let loose. To prevent bodies like yours, frames, as they call them, from being stolen, repurposed, or, in your case, escaping, they built in a process of so-called planned obsolescence. Frames decay rapidly when not regularly injected with stabilizer, one of which SNARP remains the sole producer of. Sound familiar? Yes. Good, that may help. They swap to your other arm, running some thin metal device over your skin. You feel your forearm tremble. I'm sorry, Sabine says, and you're unsure if they mean for the cold touch of the metal or anything else. Emulations like you, sleepers as most people know you, aren't classified as people in any of the surrogate systems. You have no rights, no status. They focus hard on the inspection of your arm. SNARP has no reason to release stabilizer into the market. Sabine looks up as if to apologize again, but they stop themselves. I know little of this is of use to you. They turn away, assembling the metal instrument and cleaning it. Silence fills the room as Sabine works, and then the silence gives way to tension. You stare at their back, willing them to say something, anything. Sabine turns to face you. I may be able to help. They sigh, and you see the darkness under their eyes, hear the fatigue in their voice. They gesture to the door. You saw Toshiro outside? He works for my benefactor, Yadagan. They are influential in the lower end. They gave me the space to work, run the door, take the profits. At the same time, I have to fix up their enforcers, tend their implants, sew their wounds. But Yadagan has connections. Smugglers from the Starwood Belt, mercenaries working for the corporations on Ember. They can source the stabilizer. Maybe you'll have a better chance. Sabine sets down their slate, their notes complete. This is dangerous, and it'll be expensive, but I think we can do it. Why help me? Sabine walks away to the window, their face dappled by the shadows of passing drones. Let's just see if this works first. I'll let you know why I have a lead. You nod and leave, Sabine still staring out, unmoving. When you reach the lower level of the market, you look back up through the panels of the roof to see if you can see their face, but the room looks dark against the lights of the market. You duck your head, walk off into the crowd. I really want to eat something, and I don't know how!